Live from our studios here at Kakumlimle in Accra, this is News Today with me, Emefa Akosia Adeti. Our lead stories this hour: some government institutions shut down following ongoing strike by members of CLOGSAG, leaving clients stranded.
They are having because deadline on the 15th. To say deadline on the 15th next by next mensanya the ensan come pay. Miss Meya Juma bro 1 year.
We're more as the strike enters day 2 with no end in sight. Also, former President John Kufuor calls for a major overhaul of public sector remuneration, arguing that low wages for government officials contribute significantly to corruption.
Say, given our situation, I've thought of corruption, and I identified 2 major sources of it. One is the poor remuneration system that our society somehow seems to fight shy in tackling. The pay system is really not good.
And in our hotline documentary, we'll take you to Brumo community in the northern region, where lack of potable water is straining marriages and family life as residents trek 7 hours daily for muddy and unsafe water.
Even when it comes to sex, because when you have sex, there's no water to bath, and this is affecting their relationships.
And for our Ghana Month series, we head to Teshi to understand how one of Ghana's most cherished traditional dishes, komi, is prepared and served.
Of Kenkey so much is deeply personal. My mother was a Kenkey seller. That was the food she disciplined us with. Because of her, I never developed a strong taste of fried rice or other fancy dishes. Kenkey became more than just food. That is why even today, I make it a point to eat Kenkey for sleeping.
JoyNews, independent, fearless, credible. Please stay for details. We appreciate your company today. First in the news, we begin with updates from some regions on the Civil and Local Government Staff Association Ghana CLOGSAG strike, which has entered a second day. The union is protesting against what they describe as persistent delay in implementation of its agreed condition of service. A meeting convened by the Labour Ministry with the leadership of CLOGSAG on Monday ended without a resolution. That meeting is expected to continue today, but even before that happens, a visit by JoyNews to several offices, including the WA Municipal Assembly and the WA West Regional Coordinating Council, found the offices completely shut down, leaving clients stranded. The WA Municipal Organizer of CLOGSAG, Ambrose Wawe, explained the rationale behind the strict enforcement to our correspondent, Rafiq Salam.
Try as much as possible to ensure that our people are not at post in their home, and then we are waiting and expecting government to intervene, implement our new salary structure, and then you also have a better life.
But from the look of things, some officers, they came around and you want to sack them. Why?
Sure, we expected them to be at home because it was announced that from 9th we are supposed to be at home, and then we are supposed to lay down our tools and then stay at home. We ensure that you go home. We are out and then we are ready.
But that will be against my rights because I want to work.
No. It is also against our collective rights that we are demanding something that government should pay attention to and then implement. And then at the end of the day, we are not seeing results that we are expecting.
I'm seeing that you are tying red bands on the door lockers.
Sure.
But from the look of it, if this office we are currently in, if not all the members are members of CLOGSAG, can you do this?
Well, we are very sure that there are so many of our members in this office, and so we are only tying it here so that it will send a signal to them that we are actually on the strike.
So
Again, my colleague Rafiq has been to the Jirapa Municipal Assembly and describes it as a ghost town. Rafiq, what did you see?
Currently, I am in front of the office of the Giraffe Municipal Assembly. You can see from the look of things that it appears like a ghost town. The workers they have completely deserted the office, and so services being rendered in this particular office has come to a standstill. I bumped into a woman, a highly pregnant woman, who came and told me that she traveled all the way from Sabuli to the capital. That's about 40 kilometers. Her daughters, but the people were not available. And so she's really not happy about the situation. And so the situation at the Jiripa Municipal Office of the Assembly is not working, and then the workers have completely deserted their office.
Well, the situation there is quite rife. Thank you, Rafiq. And I'll take you to Kumasi, where Clinton Yeboah has been engaging some people affected by the industrial action. Clinton, where did you visit and what services are people seeking? If you can hear me, kindly unmute, Clinton.
MFA, can you hear me?
Clearly, thank you.
Yeah, so the situation is very dire in many states agencies in Edum particularly. We went to the Accountant General Department where persons and people have come to, some to process their documents, others to rectify mistakes, others to make inquiries. All of these people were turned away, with some frustrated wandering at the premises of the Controller and Accountant General's Department at Edum. But one of the situations that struck me involved an old lady who had come to just stamp her documents, but were turned away, and as a result had to limp her way out of the facility. We also made a turn at the Social Welfare Department in Edum. The place that most of the time is very crowded. We met some people wandering around. When we asked them, they said they had been turned away from the offices. In fact, they met the offices closed, and the officers wandering around told them that they are on strike, and so they could not attend to them. And they had come there, some to claim some monies, others also to process their documents, and some also to continue some processing that they started. And because of this strike, the strike action, the whole process has been halted, leaving these people sitting at the premises of the state agencies, very frustrated as we speak.
Clinton, thank you so much. But here's what the people had to say.
I can say, me, I finished a farmer for now. Last month, I pay by now. So I'm going to the new IBA. I was a staff at the normal Uboguso. Register because one register and yeah, they on some account pay slip. And a deadline on the 15th because they let me buy almost system in article. Can name Sambra and I'm a bedroom. I must say, I can say I'm a cost strike. But they are having because deadline on the 15th. To say deadline on the 15th. I'm bad. I say, Messiah the answer come pay. Miss me Juma. Me Juma bro 1 year. So 1 month depended by no more have a suspend anyway. I say a behard pa.
But say you call a strike. And a be next week. And on bebe Juma. And the crowd no moon class on bebo. Says your mom and so. And said my trans I made my home. It's my betra quenching. Nam said my baby to my dear. Or mother and show the good quay mamma jika crack Bearman horn with the mancolan. Means I may buy my massacre. By so I say almost strike. Until they are much ever.
My colleague Anas Sabit will bring us update from the Bono East. Anas, what can you report from the Bono East?
So, like we reported yesterday, the strike is in full force here in the Bono East region. I have been to the Techman Municipal Assembly moments ago, and the place has been deserted. Almost most of the offices at the assembly are currently closed, with the officers currently out of the place to serve. We can say that the regional executives or leaders of CLOGSAG, as well as the municipal leaders, are going around to ensure that none of their members, flout that particular directive. So as I speak to you, the place is deserted. We had people trooping in the morning, especially those who are not aware of the strike. But around this time, as I left the place moments ago, the place is virtually empty. People come and they have to go. The most worrying part of the whole thing has to do with those who travel from the outskirts coming to the regional capital to access services of this people. And so it's worrying. We have people come in and they had to go back, and that's the situation here in the Bono Strait. And we can see that from our...
All right, thank you so much. That's the situation. Let's get some answers. Now, joining us via Zoom is the Minister in charge of Labour, Jobs and Employment, Rashid Pelpo. Thank you so much for joining us on the news today. So first, we've been hearing that the offices have been locked and clients are stranded. We have also, where have you gotten in terms of negotiation with CLOGSAG?
Well, thank you so much. We've had some discussions with CLOGSAG. I had a personal meeting with the executive secretary, and I had a meeting with the finance minister. We agreed that whatever the situation is, it will be important for us to understand exactly what they require. They have often traced their requests to government to increase or to restructure their salary scheme since the last administration. And so they have a strong feeling that with our government in place, we should be able to do it, because that would have meant that they are tracing it from the last regime to this regime, and it has been an extensive period of time. But we told them, well, in our situation, this is a very huge enterprise. To say we are restructuring a salary scheme, that would have meant a complete reorganization of our remuneration package, not only to CLOGSAG, but to everybody else. Because if you do, it will require you to do for all others, because we are in the same, the same public service structure. Anyway, so we've had some meetings. I detailed the chief executive of the fair wages to have a meeting with CLOGSAG, because earlier on I discussed with the Labour Commission, and they said CLOGSAG, they tried to get them, engage them, they didn't get the opportunity. Then Fair Wages also said they did not have a discussion with them earlier before the strike, and I didn't know about the strike at that very moment. There was only a warning, and we didn't have an opportunity to have an interaction before the warn and before the strike came or was announced. So right now, just yesterday, after I've had a meeting with the executive secretary, the CLOGSAG also held a meeting with the executive, and then we tried to get a close understanding of exactly what they are requiring. And my understanding is that after getting that, I would have then understood fully exactly what they need. After my meeting with the finance minister, we agreed that we'll examine exactly what is required to do, and then we address it. But I'm often saying that CLOGSAG's strike shouldn't happen at all. It shouldn't be an example of how we relate. We have gone beyond the fact that government will not listen, government will not do what you require, and therefore you have to go on strike to satisfy the requirement of your demands on us. We have always said that we are listening government. We've sat down with you, we've listened to you, we will work on it. There's no need going on strike before the final decision is taken. And we are developing a good relationship, to the point that I just think that going on strike will not be a necessity at all. It should be a final resort, and not even a final resort, it should be outmoded.
Does it look like they're listening at all? Because yesterday it ended, and that meeting ended, and today we can see the challenges that customers or clients are facing. What's your anticipation in terms of they listening in and wanting to go to the negotiation table?
Oh, well, it's a necessity. once you are making a request for something, you will need to sit down and listen. You need to sit down and debate, and negotiate. Do a final negotiation to get to a point when you can be satisfied. I would have wished that we continue these discussions within the framework of an economy which we need to take into consideration when you are asking for something. So it's important that they listen. It's important they decide against their strike, and we are asking them to call off the strike whilst we go on to negotiate. I don't want a situation where it's like there's somebody carrying a log behind you and intending to hit you, and therefore you have to take a decision here and there, and for this reason. It wouldn't be genuine. It wouldn't have responded to the kind of cordial relations we are developing between us.
But Minister, what you say to people who are stranded at places? I mean, I hear you say that the strike shouldn't have happened at all, but as you saw earlier, before my conversation with you now, people are stranded. Again, does it sound and look like CLOGSAG would at least get back to rendering the services while you as well continue with the negotiation? And what's quite different about this government for them to want to believe that what happened in the previous regime won't happen in this government?
Well, what happens in this government is going to be different. First of all, after listening, we are picking up the pieces and getting to understand exactly what the demand is. We are making a promise that it will be on the table of the finance minister. It's an intersectoral commitment to work on it, and we are pledging to do so. So once this pledge has come and there is a commitment to get to the bottom of it, would you have to continue a strike until we structure it into the economy and start working on it? I think that is a strike that shouldn't come on at all. Because the overall impression we all have is that we want to create a great country, a good country, an economy that is satisfying and will serve us all.
Okay.
Now, if you want to chisel away that part of the economy which you are building, and you still want something in the economy, it's going to have a negative consequence. So I think that with the respect I have for CLOGSAG, we should come down and begin to work.
And if they don't, Honorable, if they don't?
If they don't, all of us are going to suffer, because look, people are already suffering. The pain is already going down, because I heard somebody saying, well, he needs his pay and he needed to get a deadline and CLOGSAG is not there to work. It's going to have a total effect on all of us and themselves as well. And I think that that shouldn't be the reason for them to be on strike. We should go on strike for a specific reason, and I can tell them that specific reason they are going on strike is being tackled.
Okay.
All
right, Minister, thank you so much for bringing some clarity to this strike happening. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
In an unrelated conversation with former President John Kufuor on life, politics, labor, corruption, among others, he called for a major overhaul of public sector remuneration in Ghana, arguing that low wages for government officials contribute significantly to corruption. He said the current salary structure for civil servants and political office holders is unrealistic and creates conditions where corruption can become a coping mechanism rather than an isolated act of misconduct. He observed that many employees struggle to meet basic family responsibilities and provide decent education for their children. That can push some individuals towards corrupt practices.
Given our situation, I've thought of corruption, and I identified two major sources of it. One is the poor remuneration system that our society somehow seems to fight shy in tackling. The pay system is really not good. Go to, say, a ministry of government, where a director, a highly trained director, who served for, say, 10, 20 years in current times, monthly take-home pay net might not be even beyond 30,000 Ghana cedis. given the inflationary situations we are in the course. And such a director, perhaps a family with wife, with 4 children or so, the director would naturally want the children to have some of the best education. He would want to live decently, have a decent home, not exaggerated or extravagant. Would want a car. He's a social person, so naturally want to also bear the social responsibilities in our traditions, extended families, and all that sort of. What happens? What happens to a man like that is that he practices red tapeism. Bureaucracy, that word sounds big, but the main thing is it's a big source of corruption. And how do they do it? And this thing has become so pervasive. You look at our police system, a whole police officer, I don't know, but I don't think, say, superintendents, and they get take-home pays of beyond 5,000 Ghana cedis a month. And these are people who are sort of upholding law and order in our systems. So again, they would also go and practice top-up, go to the courts, lawyers, politicians, even academics. So corruption is so pervasive in the system, and I trace the whole thing largely to remuneration, not realistic.
Away from that, the Ghana National Fire Service is warning motorists and residents to stay away from accident scenes involving fuel tankers and other explosive materials following an incident that has disrupted traffic on the Kumasi-Accra highway. The caution comes after a fuel tanker was involved in an accident in the early hours of Tuesday, raising safety concerns and prompting emergency responders to secure the area to prevent any possible fire outbreak. The situation has since triggered heavy gridlock along the Kumasi-Accra highway, with one section of the road temporarily blocked as emergency teams work to manage the scene. My colleague Stephen Mensah has been interacting with the driver of the fuel tanker involved in the accident.
Maybe I'm an sprinter never. It's me nam atali no nam inale. Ito ocean enchanted cement car apaki so say so the day is actually the town who say I was say the fair road. I'm a ben kakaba me bani say my car sprinter no they was so kakra to train mo is I too late. And my front tire the car on the car the tire. No, my front tire the fire. A full pavement now. Excuse me, but ever talk, man.
Let me engage Steve Mensah, my colleague, who's still at the scene and now joins us with the latest. Steve, has the fuel tanker been lifted yet?
As you can rightly see in the shot, you would be seeing the fuel tanker still on the ground. And currently, what you will notice will be that there's active siphoning of the fuel, which was in the fuel tanker, into an empty one. They also we reported earlier, and it's still ongoing. The fuel tanker is still on the ground, and the Ghana National Fire Service, together with the National Petroleum Authority and all the other agencies currently on site, are trying to siphon all the fuel that's in the fuel tanker that's on the ground into an empty tanker. This is, they say, is to ensure that there's adequate security arrangements to prevent any impending danger over here. I have the Ghana National Fire Service on ground. The NADMO is also on ground. We also noticed that the ambulance service is also on ground. I would want to start with the NADMO to pick their thoughts on what the state of the driver is currently. Chief, good afternoon and welcome to Joy News.
Okay, good afternoon.
What's the current state of the driver?
The driver now, he's good. He sustained some bruises and some laceration. We have able to arrest the bleeding and dress the wound. And his glucose was a little bit low. We have given him something, so now he's stable. So we are waiting for the police report form, then we'll send him to hospital. But he's okay.
But what time did you get the notice that such an incident has happened?
Okay, we have got the call around 6:50. So we got here 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock?
Yeah, 7 o'clock.
What have you gathered so far since you've been around?
Okay, so when we came, yes, as around 11:30, yes, I spoke with the fire commander and the police commander that the people on the field, some came here around 2 o'clock a.m. So they should look for something, mobilize some food for them. Otherwise, maybe some may fall down like hypoglycemia and so. So thank God they have done that and they have provided everything. So the scene is okay now.
So you can confirm that the driver is still in the ambulance?
Oh yes, he's still there, but he's okay.
He's better now. Yeah, what about the mates? We understand there was a mate together with him in the ambulance.
When we came, we just only met the driver.
Thank you so much. So that was the Ghana Ambulance Service, and he has been telling us about. So that's the Ghana Ambulance Service, and he has been telling us about what the measures they've been putting in place for the driver who has been on site and has been involved in the accident. We also have the NADMO over here also. Chief, good afternoon, welcome to Joy News. I'd want to pick your thoughts on what you've gathered so far. We noticed you came around not too long ago. What have you gathered so far?
Okay, so I'm just receiving some briefing from my men that I brought on the ground. I've also received some briefing from the fire service and then that of the Ghana Police Service. What the issue is looks like. You can see a cement truck parked at the far end. That car looks like it has developed a fault. So it doesn't have a triangle behind it to warn the oncoming vehicles. So this very tanker driver saw the car parked very late and he couldn't also change lanes because there was another car on the left side. So in the course of the maneuvering, I think he lost control, and then this is what we have.
I'd want to pick your thoughts. Why are you here?
Yeah, as NADMO, ours is to help coordinate situations like this. Because, you know, we have the fire service here, we have the Ghana National Ambulance here, we have the police here. Our job is to help coordinate the activities for us to have a successful day, i.e., trying to prevent a disaster from occurring. Because this situation as we have it, there can be a spillover, there can be a spark of fire, very small one, and then we cannot contain whatever disaster would have occurred. So ours here is to make sure whether it is the fire service, whether it is the police or the Ghana ambulance and so on and so forth, everybody is doing what it's supposed to do. If they need assistance, we are here to offer that assistance.
Thank you so much, sir. So that was the NADMO also, and they've been telling us that they would be giving assistance to the agencies who are currently on site, given the incident that has happened also. I have the Ghana National Fire Service also on site. He has been speaking to us prior to this incident and right from 10 a.m. and he has been talking to us about what they've been doing so far. Chief, what have you gathered so far since the last time we spoke?
So at the moment, the cooling is in progress. You can see foam concentrate being used to cool the tanker. Siphoning is in progress, and we are hoping that the siphoning will be over, and then the recovery truck will come and lift the empty truck away before we leave the place.
How likely are you to seeing this thing done?
No, you see, with such emergencies, you will not be able to give timelines. Because look at it, they were using the first pump, then they had a problem, they had to stop and go in for another pump, and they've started again. So you will not be able to put timelines on it because we are using a machine, anything can happen along the line. But we hope that at least by evening, we should be able to finish evacuating the petrol from the accident vehicle into the empty tanker. Then we can now lift the empty one to allow free flow of traffic.
One major concern will be that the driver has been on site since early hours of this morning. Is this not a concern to you guys?
No, at the moment, you know, ambulance services are around. They have put him in an ambulance and they are giving him first aid to stabilize him. And if they think that he should be taken to hospital immediately, why not? So that they can go and take care of him. So as we speak, he's lying in an ambulance and resting.
So this is as a precautionary measure?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It's a precaution because nobody, after an accident, you can think that nothing has happened to you. But if you don't take time, you may be having serious issues. So that is how come the ambulance service are taking care of him.
My other question to you be about, earlier we saw some other fire tenders arrive at the scene. What was this for?
No, you know, I told you our major concern here is to prevent this tanker degenerating into a fire outbreak. So we have something we call the base pump. Those that came are from Amasama, and we don't want any car to leave here to go look for water. So the other car that came from Medina and other parts only came to augment water supply. They've gone back to bring more water to come and add to the Amasaman vehicle to continue with the cooling. So the Amasaman vehicle will not go. That one is the base pump. It is permanent. Then the rest will come and feed it with water. So exactly if you saw tenders here, that is what they came to do.
Let's talk about security protocols over here. I see one section of the road has been blocked, the other is flowing currently. What other security arrangements are you putting in place?
No, we've cordoned off the area, and I told you the cordon here is made up of the inner cordon and then the outer cordon. Over there is the cold zone. Anybody at all can be there, but those men who are involved in the cooling and the lifting of the petrol are in the hot zone. And if you have nothing to do, we will not entertain you in the hot zone. And that is the reason why the police are here, to prevent people from entering into the hot zone.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
So that was the Ghana National Fire Service also, and they've been telling us about the security protocols currently here at the Accra-Kumasi Highway. You would notice that we reported earlier, one part of the road has been blocked. The other part is currently flowing. The traffic is easing up on the other section that leads to Accra, but then the other section that leads to Kumasi has been blocked due to the situation currently on site. The fuel tanker that has fallen on the Accra-Kumasi Highway. What we'll notice also will be that security agencies are currently on site. The Ghana National Fire Service, the ambulance service, the Ghana Police Service also, and NADMO also are currently on site, try to augment the situation to ensure that no further disaster is created here at the Accra-Kumasi Highway.
Well, thank you so much, Steve. We shall definitely be bringing you a lot more, because obviously you can see that the tanker driver is still stationary in an ambulance over there. We shall be getting some more answers to this situation. Now, away from that, this afternoon, the people of Ayawaso East constituency get new representation in Parliament as Baba Jamal gets sworn in as Member of Parliament for the area. Baba Jamal was elected through a by-election last week following the demise of the former MP Nazar Ture Mahama weeks ago. Let's go live to Parliament for more on this. James, if you can hear me, tell me about what's happening.
Well, Emefa, I just stepped out from the chamber about some 3-4 minutes ago, and sitting is yet to begin. The official schedule was to start at 12 noon. And so we're waiting on that. I can't clearly tell whether that has begun, but once sitting has begun, the speaker is expected to usher in or signal Baba Jamal to be brought in, and he will take 2 oaths. After that, he becomes an official member of Parliament. Of course, this will not be his first time. He was an MP before. Also an MP for Akwetia before now becoming a new MP for Ayawaso East constituency. And so that is one of the initial things we expect to happen on the floor, so that from today, weeks after the demise of the former MP, the people of Ayawaso East constituency will get their new MP in Parliament.
Well, James, if you can hear me, let's talk about the other businesses scheduled for today. But the minority is currently holding a press conference on the implementation of the new mineral rates. What's their position?
That press conference has been addressed. It just ended a while ago by the MP for Okaikwe Central Constituency, who is Patrick Boama, on the implementation of the new minerals royalty rate. You know that it has become law from yesterday after the 21 days has elapsed. And so government, with all things being equal, should start implementation from today. He said that if government goes ahead, you know, they've heard an objection to the sliding scale that government has adopted. They said if this is done, government continues with this from today, it will lead to about 1 million job losses. I was asking him how they arrive at that figure, and what he's been telling me is that a number of companies, mineral companies, oil exploration companies, as well as hard mineral companies may fold up and leave the country, especially when the US and China in the last few days have registered their opposition to this, urging government to reconsider the decision on this particular minerals rate implementation. He said this will lead to about 1 million job loss if government goes ahead. They also want government to do an adjustment rate and reduce it from the 3.5 to about 1% to cushion the minerals company if it really wants to keep from this, especially revenue, if they really want to go ahead. And so that's the position of the minority on this implementation as we speak, MFR.
James, quickly, what else is happening in Parliament today?
Two or three key bills are expected to go through the second, third reading stage for a possible passage. The legal education reform bill is expected to go through the final reading stage for passage. What may delay the process is a number of amendments that has been proposed, about 41 amendments that will take place. And then the Governance Advisory Council bill, the president promised to establish a Governance Advisory Council. That bill is also coming to the floor for a second and third reading for today, as well as the admission of a number of reports. All of those we are looking forward to as far as sitting is concerned today, MFR.
Thank you so much, James. It's quite a busy day in Parliament. Nostalgic for Baba Jamal and many bills as well to consider. Away from that, 7 hours. That's how long residents of Rumu trek daily for muddy, unsafe water. A journey that drains their bodies and leave almost no time for work or even intimacy. The chief of the area, Alassane Musa, says the water challenges are quietly straining marriages and family life. Here are excerpts from JoyNews' latest hotline documentary, First in the North, produced by Nana Bwachi Adom.
Even though Ghana has committed to the UN Sustainable Development Goal on clean water for all, nearly 4 out of every 10 rural households still rely on unsafe water, ponds, rivers, or open dams, often shared with animals.
They spend all their time at the dam or looking for water. So it means that any other activity they are supposed to be taking that is income related is suspended because you have to get the water. And the last one, he says that their children are unable to go to school most of the time because they spend time looking for water to keep them clean before they go.
This dam, built over 2 decades ago, is the only source of water for Grumo and nearby villages. It is the only dam that saw them through the harsh drought of 2005. But it has not been dredged or expanded since it was built, and now it is failing them.
During dry season, residents struggle to get water, and the only water that is left in the dam in the dry season is not something that can be used for domestic purposes.
At the chief's palace, Alassane Musa sits with a heavy heart. His voice carries the pains of his community members. He speaks not only for water shortages, but of private struggles.
Even when it comes to sex, because when you have sex, there's no water to bath, and this is affecting their relationships.
Across northern Ghana, Nearly 1 in 5 households spends more than 30 minutes just to fetch water. In the most remote areas, that journey can stretch to several hours, costing children their time, strength, and sometimes their education.
Now, when was the last time you tasted Kenkey? Ever wondered what goes into its preparation? As Ghana celebrates its heritage this month, we journey into the hearts of Teshi to see how your favorite komi is prepared and served with hot pepper. A tradition that has endured for centuries. My colleague Na Moko takes us to Teshi, a domain where the story of Kenkey is still being written one bowl at a time.
From the street of Osu to the shores of Adan, Kenkey, locally known as Komi, Otimi or Dokno, has been preserved for centuries. Developed by the Gadangme people, the delicacy goes beyond its roots. Today, it is enjoyed in Ghana, cutting across tribes and regions. But what really goes into its preparation? In Teshi Aduemi, Yomo Amoko walks us through the preparation process.
To prepare Kenkey, you must first soak the maize for about 3 days. This allows it to ferment properly before it's milled into corn dough. After milling, the corn husk is carefully sorted out, ready for wrapping.
The main ingredient is maize. It is carefully sorted, soaked for days, milled and left to ferment to achieve a certain distinctive sour taste.
Once the milling is done, the dough is sieved to remove any unwanted particles. This process ensures a smooth texture before it's partially cooked.
Yomo tells me the fermented corn dough is partially cooked over heat, stirred vigorously for hours until it thickens into a smooth porridge. It is then mixed with fresh dough and mixed manually to achieve the right consistency before being molded into balls.
At this stage, you stir it steadily with a good quantity of salt, just like preparing banku. However, this particular mixture is known as a flatter. It requires patience and strength to stir it to the right consistency.
Each ball is then wrapped tightly in soaked corn husks and tacked to seal. For this batch, nearly 400 balls are packed into this large aluminum pot. At the base is extra husks that forms a protective layer to prevent overcooking. A measured quantity of water is then added. The pot is sealed tightly with sacks and polythene to trap in steam. For nearly 4 hours, it boils slowly.
When the flatter is well cooked, it is mixed thoroughly by hand to achieve that smooth, firm and slightly starchy texture that gives Kenkey its unique body.
Once fully cooked, the Kenkey is removed, salted and repackaged to retain warmth. But there's one more thing missing here: pepper, shito and fried fish.
Kenkey is best enjoyed with pepper and fish. The taste is so satisfying, and of course, you will need about 2 sachets of water to cool your heart.
As I prepare to taste my Kenkey with its hot pepper and fried fish, Nijani joins me at the table with his testimony.
The reason I love Kenkey so much is deeply personal. My mother was a Kenkey seller. That was the food she disciplined us with. Because of her, I never developed a strong taste of fried rice or other fancy dishes. Kenkey became more than just food. That is why even today, I make it a point to eat Kenkey before sleeping.
Indeed, Kenkey is not just a delicacy for the Gadangme people. Every morsel reminds us of the diversity of the Ghanaian culture, a history shaped by hands, kept by resilience, and wrapped in a corn hat. For Joy News, I am Na Moko, Teshi Adoemi.
You're watching News Today. Please stay for some business update.
Welcome back to Business here on JoyNews Today. My name is Winston Take, and now to our first business story. Supply of petroleum products on the market is set to improve significantly. This follows progress made in resolving the loading challenges that affected oil marketing companies over the weekend. Details in the following report.
According to the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies, this progress was made after it engaged the National Petroleum Authority, the Ghana Revenue Authority, and their expected service providers to urgently address the matter. All the interested parties have agreed to decouple the ICAMS platform from the ERDMS system to allow what they call manual loading. It is believed that this approach should help normalize things from today. The loading challenges, which started over the weekend, made it difficult for majority of the oil marketing companies. The development impacted these marketing companies, which resulted in some experiencing shortages of products at their various service stations across the country. Some market players even tried to link it to oil marketing companies trying to hoard products now to cash in on the expected increase in fuel prices from March 16, 2028. Meanwhile, the Chamber of Oil Marketing Companies have indicated that fuel prices could hit 17 Ghana cedis per litre from next Monday if the current conditions doesn't normalize in the coming days. They are concerned that the negative impact of this development could result in inflation going up in the coming months, so there's some negative impact on the broader economy going forward.
The Rangoon Real Estate Investment Trust, launched by C8 Group, is set to strengthen Ghana's real estate investment market by providing structured access to income-generating properties while promoting transparency, stability, and growth. Speaking at the launch, the founder and executive chairman of C8 Group, Kweku Bediako, explained that modern real estate development in Ghana must focus on creating meaningful experiences rather than simply providing buildings.
Real estate developers, investors, and industry stakeholders gathered in Accra for the launch of the Rangoon Real Estate Investment Trust, an initiative designed to strengthen Ghana's real estate investment landscape. Speaking at the launch, founder and executive chairman of CH Group, Kweku Bediako, indicated that the future of real estate development in Ghana lies not just in providing buildings, but in creating meaningful experiences for residents and businesses.
Yes, the future looks more interesting than what we have done right now. We believe that Cantonment City, we are not giving out spaces, but what we are selling is experience. And when we say that, we really do mean it. And these are very small things, detailed things, that makes the whole difference.
Also speaking at the launch, Chief Operating Officer of CH Group, Cynthia Eduonum Dako, explained that the Rangoon Real Estate Investment Trust has been designed with a long-term strategy focused on stability, transparency, and growth. According to her, the investment vehicle will gradually expand its portfolio by incorporating additional high-quality income-generating properties.
For the road ahead, Rangoon REIT is built for stability and growth. We expect disciplined asset management, prudent leverage, transparent reporting, and consistent dividend execution. Over time, we expect portfolio expansion, adding further high-quality income-generating assets into the vehicle. Our ambition is not merely to manage 2 buildings. It is to build a sustainable real estate investment platform that contributes meaningfully to Ghana's capital markets and urban infrastructure development.
She further emphasized that Gold Key Properties will maintain a significant stake in the underlying assets, ensuring alignment with investors and demonstrating confidence in the investments.
Gold Key retains a significant stake in the underlying assets. We have not exited. We have not diluted responsibility. We remain materially invested financially and reputationally, and our interests align with those of every investor in this room. When dividends are paid, we benefit alongside you. When value appreciates, we share in that appreciation. When standards must be upheld, we are accountable. That alignment is deliberate. It reflects confidence in the assets, in our clients, and in Ghana's commercial trajectory.
The project is expected to provide investors with structured access to income-generating real estate assets while supporting the growth of Ghana's capital market and urban development.
That's all for business. Up next is sports.
For sports on JN Today, my name is Haruna Mubarak. Now, the appointment of Black Queens head coach Kemilas Bjorkegren as an assistant for the Black Stars for the FIFA World Cup has come under scrutiny. This follows the postponement of the Women's AFCON to the 25th of July, which is 6 days after the World Cup. In light of this, former Dreams FC boss and assistant coach of Sudan, Ignatius Osei Fosu, wants the FA to reverse the appointment to afford the coach enough time with the women's national team.
Now they have to change, because during the World Cup, the Black Queens must be doing preparation.
Yeah. So you are calling for a change.
But that's a solid point. I'm not calling for a change. They have to, unless they are throwing one of the tournaments under the bus. It's fundamental.
And Ghana wants to qualify for the Women's World Cup. So we'll take the
Women's World Cup.
Yes,
I'm telling them it is more important to me. Anybody who has followed me knows that I'm the #1 supporter of the Black Queens.
Yes.
Anybody who follows me knows that I'm the #1 supporter of the Black Queens. And they cannot, the people who are managing the Black Queens cannot play with that tournament, trust me. I have always applauded them for what they have done with the Black Queens in the last few years. You understand? Me, I was in the support of, we have tried local coaches. If it's not working, we should bring foreign coaches. And we have brought in foreign coaches. So I don't have a problem. But what I'm saying is that this Black Queens tournament we are going to play is a qualifier for the World Cup in Brazil.
So we should
and
not
me, I cannot, as I'm sitting here, Ignatius, let anybody play with it, with the Black. And that's why I'm saying that if the Black Stars are getting to the final of the World Cup, that we all believe.
Don't worry, we can't get there. So no.
That we all believe that we will get there.
Coach, but the Black Queens, this thing was changed, like you're saying. So maybe from now they can make that change.
That is why I'm saying that they should do it early.
I'm sure they will.
That's for sports on JN Today. My name is Haruna Mubarak. Back to you, MFA.
Thank you so much, Haruna Mubarak.
I like it.
Yeah, I got it right. I've been rehearsing it.
Exactly.
But thank you so much. And thank you for watching the news. I am MFA Akosiadeti. For more news, do log on to myjoyonline.com.